Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudirayat Nasvaisya Bhadrasu Nityam Bharata Sevaya Bhagavat Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistike. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 22, text 19. Text 19, yeah. Yoyam vivastra yatapodita vrata. Yaga hataitat tatudeva helanam. Abadvanjalim mukni apunutayam nyasa. Etvanamodho vasanam prakeyatam. Yojam vivastra yatapodita vata. Vyaga hataitat tatudeva helanam. Badvanjalim mohni apanustaye nyasa. Ketvanamodho vasanam prakeyatam. Yojam vivastra yatapodita vata. Vyaga hataitat tatudeva helanam. Badvanjalim mohni apunutaye nyasa. Etvanamodho vasanam prakeyatam. Yoyam vivastra yatapodita vrata. Vyaga hataitat tatudeva helanam. Padvanjalim mohni amunutaye nyasa. Etvanamodho vasanam prakeyatam. Yojam vivastra yatapodita vata. Vyaga hataitat tatudeva helanam. Badvanjalim mohni amunutaye nyasa. Etvanamodho vasanam prakeyatam. Right? Yojam vivasthaya tapodita vata. Yakahataita tatudeva helanam. Abadvanchalemokni amunutaye apsam. Ketvanamodo fusanam prakiyatam. The forward translation. Yojam, you, vivastra, naked, yat, because, apa, in the water, tretavata, while executing a Vedic ritualistic vow. Yakahata, bath, etatat, this, indeed, deva helanam, an offense against Varuna and the other gods, but for Anjalim, with palms joined together, Mortni, upon your heads, Apanutaye, for counteracting, Amasa, your sinful action, Ketvanama, paying obeisances, Adavasanam, your lower garments, Pachayatam, please take back. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Krishna said, you girls bathed naked while executing your vow, and that is certainly an offense against the demigods. To counteract your sin, you should offer obeisance while placing your joined palms above your heads. Then you should take back your lower garments. Purport. Krishna wanted to see the full surrender of the Gopis, and thus he ordered them, and thus he ordered them to offer obeisances with their palms joined above their heads. In other words, the Gopis could no longer cover their bodies. We should not foolishly think that Lord Krishna is an ordinary, lusty boy enjoying the naked beauty of the Gopis. Krishna is the supreme absolute truth, and he was acting to fulfill the loving desire of the young cowherd girls of Vrindavan. In this world, we would certainly become lusty in a situation like this. But to compare ourselves to God is a great offense. And because of this offense, we will not be able to understand Krishna's transcendental position, for we will wrongly take him to be materially conditioned like ourselves. To lose transcendental sight of Krishna is certainly a great disaster for one trying to relish the bliss of the absolute truth. Read the verse once again. Yutyam vivastra yatapodita vata vyakra hataitat tatudeva helanam patvanchali murtni apanutaye nyasa ketvanamodo vasanam prakiyatam. Lord Krishna said, you girls bathed naked while executing your vow, and that is certainly an offense against the demigods. To counteract your sin, you should offer obeisance while placing your joined palms above your heads. then you should take back your lower garments. Om Ajnanatamannasya Jnanasalakaya Chakshurmilitam Lena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Staptam Yena Bhutale Svam Rupakadamyam Dadati Svapalantikam Vandeham Shivu Shiyuda Padakamalam Shivam Vaishnavam Sham Shri Upam Jagajatam Saganaragnatam Patam Tam Sativam Sadvaitam Savrutam Parjana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saganalita Shri Vishakam Vitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jatpate Gopesha Goprakanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kansna Kaurangi Radhe Vinavanashve Vishabhanu Suddevi Pranamama Haripriye Fakha Kalpta Vishakhi Pasan Vivsha Patnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sat Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachani Desatani Srila Prabhupada Ki. So, there are also commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Shiva Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, "Oh, you have made a great offense. If you bathed without clothing in the water, then definitely you have offended Varuna or Narayan." The Gopis said, "This is a local custom, and therefore very young girls we have made no offense." Krishna said, "For those performing vrata, bathing naked is certainly an offense to the Lord." Considering thus that the fruits of their vrata had become nullified, they became afraid and said, "Oh, we have made such an offense, and now we will not get any results." Mortified and more motivated, we should give up our lives. Seeing the Gopis, who had performed such austerities with worn bodies, pale and shivering, Krishna thought, "Oh, I should, being merciful, immediately prescribe some prayaschitta so that they do not give up their lives." Therefore he said, "O thin-bodied Gopis, do not fear." He gave the remedy. All women are servants of Narayan. This is a statement of scripture. Gargamuni also said that I'm similar to Narayan in qualities. Therefore, I'm your Narayan. Therefore, turning towards me, you should offer respects to me to nullify your offense. To nullify your offense to Narayan, and then receive your lower garlands, because males don't have any use for the lower garments of women. I will give them all back. The upper garment, however, I will use myself as shawls. When they lowered their head as an obeisance, Krishna said, Oh, no offering of respect with just the head is inferior." When he saw them then using one hand, he objected again. This is also inferior. Thus, he made them offer both hands in prayer. When he saw them offering both hands, but low down to cover themselves, he said, "Hold your folded hands above your heads. Dat is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Jiva Goswami writes. Because they are young girls, they cannot be blamed. I've directly witnessed this, so it is not possible to cheat me. This is an offense against the deity of the water Varuna or Narayan. Fold your hands and put them on your heads and nowhere else. This indicates Krishna's different intentions. It saw they were trying to use one hand for offering respect. Therefore, he told them to join their hands. And when they joined their hands, they placed them downwards. Therefore, he told them to place their hands on their heads. He instructed them to take only their lower garments, not their upper garments. No, Sanatana Goswami. Yeah. Because they are young girls, they cannot be blamed. I've directly witnessed this. So it is not possible to cheat me. Deva Helanam actually means worship of Devi or Katyayani, feminine. You have offended her, but in order to make them give up their stubbornness, it speaks of general disregard for all the devatas. Or Deva Helanam can refer technically to an offense in the form of some fault in the vrata. They should place their hands on their heads and nowhere else in order that the king of Rasikas could fulfill his desire. One should not offer respects with only one hand according to Hari Bhakti Vilas. They should join the hands together and place them on their head, for he saw them joining their hands below. When they came near to take their cloth, which was at the base of the Kadamba tree, others, he would be able to see them clearly. Offering respect, they should take their clothing, or they should take their lower cloth, adovashanam, and not their upper cloth. Vashanam is in the singular, to indicate that each girl should take one piece of cloth. So these are the commentaries of our acharyas. So the Gopis have performed this Katyayani Vrata for 1 month, only eating some khichdi that even without salt every day, once a day. And now this is the end of their vrata. They take a bath in the Yamuna. But yes, that Krishna stole their clothes. And now they have to come out of the water naked, and they have been bathing naked. This is Bharacharya's. For a young girl, that's not an offense, but Krishna knew the intention of the Gopis. If one does not understand Krishna's position and Krishna's intention and the intention of the Gopis, one will misunderstand this pastime. This is the 10th canto. That 10th canto we can start to understand when our heart is purified. That after studying the first 9 cantos, be pure, free from all lust. So many criticize Krishna for so many reasons, and but we see these Gopis, they are on the level of Atma Nivedanam. Atma Nivedanam means they are fully surrendered to Krishna. Of course, we have Atmanivedanam, Sakyam Atmanivedanam are the last two methods of devotional service out of 9. That's the first spoken by Prahlad Maharaj to Hiranyakashipu, who did not like it. But of course, Prahlad Maharaj has learned that from Narada Muni in the womb. That's interesting. It's mystical. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Our Acharya said that when we are not pure, we should perform the first 7. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. This is our sadhana. And then when we perform this sadhana, we become purified. Then this, at the end, the Sakyam Atmani Vedanam will develop So yes, they were situated on the platform of Satyam Atmani Vedanam, these Gopis. Of course, there are other devotees we have heard of in the 7th canto who were on that platform of complete surrender to Krishna. Bali Maharaj, he gave everything to Krishna, his kingdom, his money, everything. So what is this quality of this Atmanivedana, complete surrender? There is a scripture, and that's in the Veda base, it's called Shri Hari Bhakti Kalpalatika. Means the characteristics of Atmanivedanam are described there. And the author, who is the author? Unknown. We don't know who the author is. That's interesting. The attainment of the desired goal of the devotees is called Atmanivedana. It is achieved when their bodies are fully surrendered to Krishna and they are totally devoid of the mentality of I and mine. So that is the inner position of the Gopis, that only for Krishna. There's no I and mine. Give everything to Krishna. And so these pastimes of Krishna are on different levels. You have the lila, the pastime, but then you have the deeper meaning. Krishna, like a mother is teaching the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter. Prabhupada said. So the Lord is teaching all of us by teaching his devotees, pure devotee, or uses his pure devotee as an example. So yes, full surrender is known as the transcendental devotional service. It is the state of liberation for those who are living in the material world. So a fully surrendered soul does not think about his own benefit. He surrenders his mind to the super soul, Sri Hari, and constantly enjoys in the ocean of his own spiritual bliss. Bhaktitirtha Maharaj, he wrote a book, The Beggar, Die Before Dying. Interesting. And he writes about Atmanivedanam. Your anxiety should be how to please Guru and Krishna. That's Atmanivedanam. So yes, of course, in the These characteristics of Atman in Vietnam start with the states of Baba. The chapter 18 of Nectar of Devotion describes the 9 characteristics of pure devotional service. How can we see that someone is on that stage? He does not waste time, always engaging in devotional service. He's very attached to the chanting of the holy name. He has no interest in material enjoyment. So this is the higher platform of devotional service. And that is here exemplified by the Gopis. The Gopis only wanted to please Krishna. And why did they cut this vow before the goddess of Katyayani? They wanted Krishna as their husband. So that's what they wanted. And Krishna knew their intention. But one who does not know Krishna and does not know Krishna's intention and the devotee's intention will not understand this pastime. It's like someone at a program, there was a father with children, and the children were uncontrolled. They were playing and making noise and disturbing. So then one devotee went to the father and said, "Why are you not doing something about it?" Well, the father said, their mother died, and I don't know how to tell them. So one sees a certain situation and does not understand what's happening. Like a man was chanting with his hand in his bead bag, his left hand. He was chanting in the temple, going up and down, wearing a shadar. Was a new devotee, never seen before. And the devotee was thinking, that's not proper, he should chant with his right hand. I should tell him. He decided to tell him. And he went to this devotee, and when he wanted to tell him, his shadar fell, and he could see he had no right arm. He had only one arm. So by that, we construe so many things in our mind, criticizing this and that, but not understanding that. In the same way, if we don't understand Krishna's position and the Gopis' inner mood, we construe so many things about this. That like, I remember this 30 years ago, someone read Bhagavad Gita, and he said, yes, what's the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? Krishna wants Arjuna to fight, that's all. 3 times he said in Bhagavad Gita, and now fight. So really not understanding anything of the real teachings of the Gita. But Krishna used the Gopis also to teach us how to surrender. That they gave up everything, that they had to give up their shyness and appear naked for Krishna. And Krishna said, yes, I will give back each you one piece of lower garment, and I will keep the upper garment to use as a shower. Interesting. But yes, this is Krishna. fulfilling factually the desire of the Gopis, that only a girl may appear naked before the husband. So they wanted Krishna's husband. And Krishna knew their intention. So the Gopis, they only want to please Krishna, serve Krishna. Like Rupa Goswami was once thinking, I want to offer some sweet rice to my elder brother Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami was also, if Sanatana Goswami joined first the Hare Krishna movement, he was also older. He joined Lord Chaitanya's movement, but before, he started with Krishna consciousness before that. Rupa Goswami was thinking, I want to offer him some sweet rice. And at that moment, a young colored girl appeared before him with a pot. And she said, I'm from this village nearby, and we had a festival yesterday, and we want to share this sweet kheer with you. And he got this sweet kheer, and this girl looked so beautiful, he could not take his eyes from this girl. But then when she disappeared, and he brought the sweet rice to Sanatana Goswami. And they were enjoying the sweet rice, and then Sanatana Goswami said, where did you get it? And he described what happened. Oh, it is. Describe me this girl. And he was describing this girl, and he said, and Sanatana Goswami did this Srimati Radharani. You have taken service from Srimati Radharani. That's not good. We don't take service. We give service to Srimati Radharani. And that was also the mood of the Gopis, this service attitude. And we sing this verse from Goswami Astakam, Nana Shastri Vichara Nipunam, Sadharma Samstapakam. So this verse describes that there's the 6 Goswamis. They have collected the essence of all Vedic literature and put it together as the signs of devotional service. And they are always serving in the mood of the Gopis. That's the supreme mood of serving Krishna in full surrender, full Atma Nivedanam. And this, if one understands Krishna and Rasa, and Krishna and the Gopis' intention, and is pure in heart, then this pastime, just hearing this pastime, gives bliss to the heart. It's rasa that appears in the heart, deep devotional feelings for Krishna. That's what I could say on this verse. Any comments? Yes.
So sometimes I hear, like you just said, we should really study the first cantos before reading canto, or else, we might get agitated and like let us sort of misunderstand Krishna's relationship with the Gopis. Then at other times you'll hear Prabhupada say to cure it, or sex desire less, we should hear about the pastimes of Krishna with Gopis. So which one is it, or how do we coincide the two?
Yeah, first, thank you for that question. At the end of the second canto, Prabhupada said, if one is not free from rose lust, one should go back to the first canto and read it again, then the second canto, until one becomes free from gross lust. And then one can continue, and then the subtle lust will disappear as we come to the first, to the end of the ninth canto. And then at the beginning of the 10th canto, Marriage Brexit makes the point, Ni vritet er parhima nat, babostek shotram nobiranat. Dus to hear from Krishna's pastimes, one must be free from lust. One must have taken the medicine enough from hearing about Krishna. And then when one is nearly free from lust, if one hears the pastimes of the Gopis, one understands them correctly, and it will further purify you, and all the traces of lust will disappear. But if you jump to that without understanding, proper understanding, not going to the first nine cantos and so on, you jump to it, and you hear this pastime, Prabhupada said it will not purify you, will putrefy. It will have the opposite effect, because we will not understand the intention of the Gopis and Krishna and Krishna's position properly. But yes, hearing this pastime is also purifying us. We are going to, but the condition is that we understand Krishna's position to a certain extent, and are purified from most of us, then it will be effective. If we are not purified, it's like, I had a discussion with a devotee. He said, he was honestly revealing his mind to me, and he said, I've never been sick, but yes, last year I've been quite sick with the COVID and so on, and yes, respiratory problems and so on, and sometimes I feel angry feelings toward Krishna. Why I cannot do my service? So that shows also in the heart we are not really ready to accept Krishna. When we come to the 10th canto, we must come to the point of accepting everything what happens in our life, good or bad, as Krishna's mercy. And that's taught in the 7th canto. Our Krishna is all good. He's not partial. If we don't get that point, then we don't understand really Krishna. And then to understand these pastimes, it requires more and more subtle comprehension, more subtle things. And if we misconstrue it, and we don't understand the intention of the Gopis, which is factually anyabilasta sunyam, that pure devotional service, then it will be difficult. Because Prabhupada, in the beginning, when Krishna book came out, it's in Krishna book the point you make, that you hear the passing of the Gopis, you will become purified. It came out, and then the devotees in Los Angeles came together, and they formed together the Gopi Baba Club. And they came only together to read about the pastimes of Krishna, about the Rasa Lila and so on. When Prabhupada heard it, he became very angry. and he made that point, they will not become purified, but purified. So we cannot jump to that. But if we go to the first 9 cantos gradually, and we try to understand and work on ourselves, we will come to the point of coming closer to Atman Nivedanam, closer to, and then with that purity, we can relish this pastime, and it will further purify us. Does that help? Good. Good. Thank you very much. Yantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.